Hey, and thank you for clicking play, and I hope you had a good Christmas, and I hope you have a good New Year as well. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly do a very quick, let's call it a Christmas pickups video, but it's not. It's because there's some stuff that I picked up at the Perth Amiga user group just before Christmas, so we'll do those first. But actually we won't, because what I will say, this was one of my Christmas presents, Guns N' Roses t-shirt, fantastic. So, of course I'm only going to show you the stuff that's nostalgia, hobby, retro related. Guns N' Roses t-shirt, fantastic, from my wife, so that's good. I mention that now because I'll probably forget. That's what I did when I got that Transformers t-shirt. Forgot to mention it in the very video that I was wearing it in. Anyway, hope you had a good Christmas, like I said. Let's get straight into it, because I want to drag this one out. You guys have got far more important things to do at this time of year than sit down and watch me. So in this magic box, I think this is everything that I picked up at the Perth Amiga user group. Let's have a look and see what's inside. Oh yeah, this is the one. Where to start? So I did sell, for those of you that watch regularly, you know, I bought the Video Pack G7000 boxed, a working one, and so I did sell to somebody at the group my non-working one, obviously with full disclosure, and I gave him one of the double up games for it as well. I basically sold the unit for what I'd paid for it in the condition that it's in, but of course now I've troubleshooted so we know what's wrong with it, and I threw in one of my double up games and all the bits that I bought to make the RGB mod. I threw those in as well, so he got quite a good bargain. Reason why I'm mentioning that now is because as part of that trade deal, he gave me, and obviously some cash my way as well, so I think I did rather well out of this actually. He gave me a Commodore 64 joystick, this one. So obviously one of mine doesn't work at all, and it's got frayed cables and everything. So we've got another C64 joystick, so that's great to hopefully have two matching working ones for the C64. And this household's going paddle crazy, I tell you, because now I have the original Commodore 64 paddles as well. So of course I've got Le Mans, the game that works with these. So, and I believe these are cross-compatible with the Atari 2600 as well. So actually I'll be able to test them on that, or on my 2600 Plus, before I even fire up the C64. So that's nice. It's good to have those. That's good. I might move stuff around as we go. Then from retrokit.com.au, fantastic resource here in WA. He was at the meet. So David runs that shop, and I have bought off of him at the meet, because I've wanted one for ages, a grease weasel. So obviously I've got to set it up. I've got to look up how you do that. So I need a donor floppy drive and some other bits. But basically it's a fully populated grease weasel. If you're not familiar with the grease weasel, basically what that is that lets you do a few things. One of the things it will let you do is read Amiga discs on a PC. But the primary purpose of it isn't actually that. The primary purpose is disc restoration. So not through ADF, which generally are cracked, but original disc images. So for example, my Gunship disc that I accidentally destroyed whilst making a video on Gunship for the Amiga, I've got a couple of different format backup files from somebody on the internet, one of the guys in one of the groups, from Porg actually, and so hopefully I can overwrite at a flux level the platter of the disc and restore that to original working condition using this. That's the primary purpose of a grease weasel. It's for backing up for future preservation your original discs, and also for restoring discs that are otherwise corrupt. Obviously you can't restore if the disc is scratched or if it's got too much mold to clean off or whatever. You're not going to bring that back, but if you've got a proper platter, the proper type of platter in there in good condition, then you can restore the data back to it if it's become corrupt through some other way. That's the primary purpose of it. Speaking of retro kit, there we go. Free plug. What we got? I've got to give one of these to a mate actually. But there we go. Retro kit pen and Shane. This one's because I've got another one on my keyring, on my actual keyring. I'll give this one to Shane because he said at the pub the other day he didn't have one. Retro kit bottle opener. Very important here in Australia that we have a bottle opener on us at all times in case there's a bottle opening emergency. Also at the Perth Amiga user group there was 8-Bit Anarchy, so they set up shop there as well. So Byron runs out, mentioned him before, shown him before, Do look at the video of the Perth Amiga user group Meet 10. My wife was on reception, so there you go. And she did a very good job. And we had Amiga Bill as our online guest. So it's just a very short montage of what happened on the night. That's all you'll see. But anyway, from Byron's shop, from 8-Bit Anarchy at the Meet, I picked up two 2600 games. First one is Phoenix. There we go, for the Atari 2600 in very good condition. And he did me a good deal on this pair of games. I always say to him, how much for these two? And he always says the price that's in my head. And then this next one, I've accidentally started a rabbit hole that I swore I'd never go down. But I've now got a boxed, yes, it's a clamshell box, but I've got a boxed 2600 game. There we go, Mega Mania. And this is in fantastic condition. Usually these boxes have gone very brittle, but this one hasn't. I mean, far out. Like what? It has got some permanent marker on there. I might be able to do a bit of a lecturer's trick and get rid of that. We'll have to have a see. But there we go. Mega Mania. Boxed. Looking in brand new condition. And that's the other reason why it would have been such a reasonable price. I'm going to cover up the price because he did me a deal. But it's also got in permanent marker some writing there as well. So, and I think... that doesn't bother me. It's part of the story of this particular copy. Well, that's got to be on the plastic sheen because that's not a... Oh no, okay, that does lift. It wouldn't be under that, would it? So it's got to be on top of that. Hard to say, but there's a trick. Basically, what lecturers do, if they accidentally write on a whiteboard with permanent marker, they go over it with whiteboard marker because whiteboard marker has a chemical that will break it down. So they go over it again with whiteboard marker, let it sit for a bit, and then they use the board rubber and the spray, and then generally that will bring permanent marker off. So that's the trick I would try, certainly on the back of this. On the paper of that, I'll probably be a bit more cautious. I might look up some other tips for that. But anyway, that's if I choose to remove them. Yeah, Sharon Renfrey, this was yours originally. There you go. If you're wondering where your Atari 2600 game, that's in very good condition. I don't think you ever played it. Okay, that's those from Porg. Let's get into Christmas stuff. I'm going to have to move some stuff around. So I might bring these back. I'm just going to move the awkward shapes off. And I probably won't bring the grease weasel back up. Just going to put that back in there. Keep that protected because I don't want that damaged before I even get a chance to try and play with it. Right, straight into it. T-shirt, done. Stocking presents. Here we go. I think I've said it before, it's a thing. I started it doing Hot Wheels cars and my boys have grown up and gone, we don't want Hot Wheels cars anymore. So they definitely always get a Hot Wheels car. So now they started doing it to me. My wife has started doing it to me. But now I've moved on to Hot Wheels cars that they actually like, such as the Super Mario ones. So something slightly more collectible. So that's the one I got. That was in my stocking. Oh, this was also a stocking present. This'll make a giggle. Yeah, my wife and I had had a conversation. Somehow He-Man and She-Ra came up very briefly. So in my stocking, a She-Ra mug. I assume they were out of stock of He-Man, but I don't care. I'm not fussed. Here we go, a She-Ra mug. So I enjoyed Christmas Day having my morning coffee out of She-Ra. Fantastic, beautiful. Don't think the order from here really matters. So a couple of things that are to do with the hobby, but I've been needing this for a long time, and none of the stuff for Christmas this year was stuff that I'd bought and said, you're getting me this. So it was really nice to get stuff that, yeah, is really relevant to what I'm into now, that I didn't dictate, shall we put it that way. So I've got a new soldering iron stand holder station thing. So that's good, that's going to come in very useful, doing some projects, and a very much needed new soldering iron with a fine tip, and I think a replaceable, yeah, it says on the back here, replacement guide, so I've got replaceable tips as well. So very, very handy. I've had a really old soldering iron with a massive tip on it, I don't like to boast. So yeah, been very awkward for a lot of things I've been wanting to do. Next, I still haven't bought the Harrier jump jet. My boy got me a couple of years ago now, so I need to do that. I've got a Spitfire to make as well now. So there you go. Kit Spitfire. Not kit, but you know what I mean. You can come to the front. There we go. And what we got next? I haven't even got this out. Game light, game desk light. Mario Brothers, Super Mario. There you go. So that's going to be good on the desk. Be prepared to see this flickering array in the background of my videos, annoying the heck out of all of you. Is that going to balance there? Defying gravity. Next is, this is a good one. This is from Luke actually. It's the one that got me the FX Harrier the other year. I've been after one of these for ages. I'm really, really pleased. It's the '89 Batmobile. So there you go. So that will sit probably up on the shelf in front of the Batman pack, I think is where I'm going to do that. I will take it out. In fact, I have taken it out briefly just to see what it does, what moves and stuff, because it's got machine guns on the top that you can sort of hide, and you can open the canopy. That's about all it does, I think. So very, very happy with that, for sure. Let's do some rearranging. Yeah. There we go. And then, lastly, and it is the last item, is this. I like my digital watches. I haven't got a smartwatch. I refuse. And my wife very kindly got me. And you're going, why is this relevant? Trust me, it is. So in here we have the Casio. I'll take it out. Ugh. It's a Casio A100. So basically that face is based off of the watch that Ripley wears in Alien. And they do, I think it's 3 versions. One has the plastic wristband, so the whole thing looks just like the one in Alien, and then they've done 2 more, one in silver, one in gold, that basically have the replica face, but they've made them more into dress watches. So obviously this is the silver one, so very happy with this. I did have to look up because it is a bit of a petite watch, let's put it that way, but I looked it up, and this was the size of this. Their marketing is very good. Is twofold. One is, this is how big digital watches were back in the day, apparently, and how big the original one was, which makes sense because it's on Ripley's wrist. And they market it as a unisex watch. So don't call it a girl's watch. Don't say Chris is wearing the girl's watch. He's not. He's wearing the watch out of Alien, and that's cool. Ripley is a girl, so it is a girl's watch. It doesn't matter. It's awesome. There you go. So Casio A100. So if you put it next to my other Casio, which I'm not going to do, it really does look so small. But there we go. Very happy with that. Fits perfectly. Well, I might need to adjust it slightly. But yeah, happy with that. Very happy with that. So that is it. That is really it, I think. So that can go there to represent that, because now that's on my wrist. And we got those as well. So that is a nice little stash. I hope you got some really cool stuff that brings back some memories for you. Highly recommend you watch the Retro Bear. I'll put a link in the description to Retro Bear's Christmas message. He raises some really good points, which is sort of vindication for where I want to go in the new year, but more of that in the new year, when I think my first video will be about the future direction of where we're going to take the channel. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic new year. Don't do anything I would do.